So he definitely come with something I think very important to share with us, and I will cut short myself. I won't speak more. Always inspired by your presence.
Okay, so I may have actually your introduction when you say Congressman Jim Wu, it will happen.
Uh, 大家好. Okay. I'll keep this short so I can answer more questions. We have plenty of time the next few days to talk and go over all this stuff. But I am here. Um, I have been on. I've been in hotel room after hotel room because I'm just traveling so much. I don't even see my family anymore. But I am here. I'm spending the next 3 days here because this is the most one of the most important things that I do. I wear two hats right now. For one position, I'm trying to help Texas Democrat. I'm trying to lead our country and trying to lead our state and fix the mess that we're in right now. The second job that I do is I'm trying to represent, fight for, and help organize the Asian American community, but especially the Chinese community in the United States, not just in Texas, but directly money and otherwise are far away. Because the danger to our community is very real and it is very serious. The biggest problem right now is that if you look around the country, Black communities are beyond pissed off. They are enraged and they are organizing and they are ready to make people pay and they're ready to fight back. Latinos are very, very angry and they're organizing and they're getting ready and they're going to make people pay for what they did to them. The Asian community is not even angry. The Asian community does not even know that the things that have been done to us are meant to kill us. They were taking shots at us, they were shooting at our head. And we were saying to everyone, if we just stay still, we will be fine. Yeah. Well, they were already taking shots, right? And right now, we're looking at a situation where, in the best case scenario, the very, very best case scenario, Democrats win this November, take the country back. Democrats win in 2020 and take the White House back. But the Chinese community, the Asian community is not a part of any of it. 2026 or 2007, 2029, there will be nothing for the Chinese people. There will be nothing for the Asian community. All our nonprofits that lost money under Trump may maybe not get their money restored. All the programs that they started passing against Chinese people, passing against Asian, maybe they repealed them, maybe they don't. During Biden, I had lots of people from the Chinese community call me and say, where are the appointments? Where are the Chinese people? Where are the Asians for the federal appointment? Secretary Su, acting Secretary Su, for 3.5 years, the only Asian, the only Chinese person appointed under the Biden administration, spent 3.5 years waiting for confirmation. Did our community say one word? To say, the one person that you give to us, the one position, waited 3.5 years for a vote. That kind of disrespect right in our face, and we say nothing. And people ask me, why did we only get one? Why did we only get why so little? Because you didn't help. Because the Chinese community, the Asian community was a very small part of winning in 2020. And that looks like that support and that help is going to be even smaller in 2026. So at the best, we will fix the country. Our community will get no appointments, no money, and no respect. the worst case scenario, Democrats don't even win. And now you're looking at the next 2 years where things getting worse and worse and worse. You know what happens when things get bad? What happens when things get bad? Leaders look for what? They look for scapegoats. They look for punching bags to say, hey, I didn't do this. It's all those people. You hear them right now. They're already doing it right now. Why is everything so bad? Oh, China's doing this. Why is it like all these Chinese people are coming? All the Indians are coming. All the Muslims are coming. It's because of them. Right? They passed all these laws around the country. It says Chinese people cannot own land. They cannot own a home. They cannot own a business. They cannot own even farmland. In Texas, they added you cannot own water rights. You cannot own timber rights. You cannot own oil and gas. These are all laws saying get out. In Florida, they passed a law saying if you're a Chinese immigrant, you may not work for the University of Florida system. Well, what that means is also that you cannot have Chinese grad students. Because almost all those grad programs require TA time, lab assistant time, something. Even if it's voluntary, denied. Iowa just passed new law. All Chinese H-1B are banned from government work. Imagine if they passed a law saying Black people cannot buy a home or Latinos cannot work. There will be cars burning in the street by nighttime, right? They have done this to our community for 3 years, almost 4 years now. In 2023, I helped going from state to state, warning all the states, hey, they're passing this law, they're passing this law, they're passing this law. People say, I'm an American citizen, no problem. Hey, no big deal. Now, more than 32 states, 2/3 of our nation have passed this law saying Chinese people cannot own land. And what do we say? We say nothing. Not one word. Right? In fact, not only one word. I now have Chinese people telling me, well, maybe we did not give enough money to the Republicans. And I say, my God, only Chinese people could be that stupid. Only Chinese people could be that arrogant to say the people who are telling you, get out of my country, you ugly dog-eating people, right? And you say, oh, how much money can I give you to stay? The Republicans and Donald Trump in 2020 or 2024 spent $2 billion on a campaign. $2 billion. You guys have $2 billion? You want to try to bribe them? Right? To not hate you as much? Right? So look at this. I don't want to make this point. This is what I want everyone to do. Right? Many of you know that they passed the alien land law, maybe in your state, maybe in Texas, maybe in Florida. You don't know that they passed it in 2/3 of the country. You don't know that they're about to try to pass it in Congress. You don't know that more the alien land law was just the first step. It always starts with the alien land law. The next step, employment. The next step, education. The next step, housing. The next step, Chinese Exclusion Act, Part 2. Chinese Exclusion Act, Part 1, 1882. Chinese Exclusion Act, Part 2, 2027. If we do not speak up and say, this is my country too, We belong here. We're Americans. My children, one of them will be president, right? And we need to say that. We need to say that loudly. And I know what we need. We already know what we need to do. In Texas, in 2023, we were the only state in the whole country, out of all the states that fought the alien land law, we were the only community to defeat it. The only state in the country where the people defeated the alien land law at least one time. And from that, the strategy is very clear. One, educate our own community. The things that I told you, all the terrible things that happened, that's only like 1/3 of the terrible things they have done to Chinese people in Texas, in this country, in the last few years. The fact that so many of people in our home communities do not even know about these laws, but do not know that all these laws are together, that's what's going to kill us. We need to go and educate our whole community. That means I'm hoping that UCA and many of the national organizations, what we'll do is there's UCA chapters all across America, right? There's OCA chapters all across America. There's other groups. I want all the Asian groups to start partnering together in those cities and saying it's time to stop playing around, right? Go back to the home cities and tell everyone we need to have big meetings right now. Everyone, we need to have big meetings, and we need the national groups to help create the materials to hand out in Chinese, in Vietnamese, in Korean, whatever it takes, right? And we take this back home, we get into our local ethnic papers. The reason we won in Texas in 2023, because we took the time to take all of the stuff that we're doing, break it into tiny pieces that are easy to understand. We translate it into Chinese and Vietnamese and Korean and everything else, and we spoon feed it to the local press, right? The ethnic press, the Chinese newspaper, the Vietnamese radio station, whatever. Every single week, you give them more stuff in Chinese, in Vietnamese, right? The community finds out. The more we talk about this, the more people will be interested. The more people will be interested, the more the newspaper and the radio will cover it. The more they cover it, the more people will be interested. Once enough people know, we need to start organizing. What did we do in Houston? What did we do in Texas? We had a big march protest in every single major Texas city. We were expecting maybe 200 people in Houston. We had well over 1,000 come out. It was supposed to be just on the sidewalk, but it was so many people. The mayor came. We had 2 or 3 congressional members, senators, state reps, city council, everyone. There were so many people they shut down an 8-lane road so we could march in the road with the mayor in the front. Right? Made it front page newspaper, made it into the New York Times. Those things scared the people that were attacking us. When we called them so many times, we had so many Chinese people calling, right? Calling all these officers, sometimes in very bad English, right? And just yelling at them. Saying, why are you doing this to me? Why are you trying to take my future? Why are you taking my American dream? I had members begging me, tell your people to please stop calling. Please, we won't do it. We're not going to pass the bill. Please stop. Right? It's effective. And they had never seen Chinese people anywhere rise up. We had never had a protest and a march of any size before. For them to see all of a sudden more than 1,000 Chinese people come out and protest, they were like, oh shit. Do we really want to mess with these people? Well, what happened the next time? The next time we tried to fight, but there was so much going on. When people call, and not as many, and not as much. But then on the other side, Donald Trump got involved in our alien land law, SB 17 personally. They quadrupled their effort. The governor personally got involved. Everyone personally got involved. Our community's effort did not change. They increased by 4 times. We just did what we did last time. Guess what? They won. And I had their people come to me and say, "Oh, we're going to vote for it because I don't hear the complaints as much now, so I assume that it was okay, right? You guys are not calling so much. You guys are not so angry about it. We must be okay." They made the bill worse. The bill was actually worse, much worse. So I'm happy to answer questions, but what I really want to say through this whole process, the main theme is, dear Chinese people, in our home country, the saying is, the head that sticks up gets cut off. But you are now in America. In America, the saying is, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Because in America, if you do not speak up, if you do not fight, if you do not yell, if you do not scream in people's face, if you do not protest, you do not march, you do not demand things, you do not demand respect, you get nothing. But worse than nothing, they turn you into the punching bag. Worse than nothing, they turn you into the scapegoat. They tell the world once again, just like 100 years ago, they say all the world's problems are because of those people. And they point at us. And they say these people they're not really Americans. They don't really have the same rights. Read some of the history of Chinese people in America, right? We cannot be quiet anymore. Being invisible is not going to protect us. Because they are already coming for us. They are already shooting at us. They already know that we're here. And they want us gone. So I hope everyone, if you want to talk to me more about this, I'm happy to. We need to start organizing our community, especially wealthy Chinese people, rich Chinese people that I've talked to many of them who say, I'm fine. I'm not worried about it. Because they think their money is going to protect them. Their connections are going to protect them. They play both sides. They say, "Yeah, I'll play both sides, no problem, man." But let me tell you, the rich Chinese are at the center of the bullseye of the target. Because it is the rich Chinese, the powerful, right? I know yesterday we were at the Bank of the Orient had a grand opening in Houston. They opened two branches in Houston this year. And then there's Golden Bank, Metro Bank, everybody. 20 years ago, none of those existed in Chinatown in my area. And now they're all over the place. Every time you open one of those banks, it displaces, it knocks out somebody else. That's more competition. It is our people coming to this country. 40 years ago, the percentage of Asians at Harvard was like 2%. The graduating class of 2031 at Harvard is 41% Asian. 41%. It went up 10% in 3 years. The total number of Black kids Black students is a little bit less, about 2% less than what it was 3 years ago. The total Latino student population, about 2% less. Asians went from 2% to 41%. Who did we take out? The total number of spaces at Harvard is the same. It's always been the same. We took out rich white people. But more than rich white people, we took out rich white people who their kids stayed at Harvard for 7 generations because of their family's name, because of their power, because of their wealth, not because of their abilities. And our presence here is basically telling them they can no longer compete. And the place that they believe was theirs and belonged to them is now being taken away. But it's not being taken away by Black people or Latinos. It's being taken away by the Chinese, by Indians and Pakistanis, right? So when you look at the attacks on our communities, Chinese, Indian, and Muslim, those attacks are all the same. They sound different, but they all say one thing. You are fundamentally not compatible with American life. You cannot be here. You need to leave. People laughed at me when I told them about Project 2025. But more than half of the project is now done. They're bragging about it. The end of Project 2025 for the Chinese community is denaturalization and deportation. That is not a joke. The final part of Project 2025 is the Chinese Exclusion Act Part 2. So I hope everyone takes this very seriously and we need to do something this year or we're gonna be in a lot of trouble.
We've got only a few minutes left.
Sorry.
No, that's so fine. I want to take advantage of my being a